So when I think back to my 4 years at Cornell and what's changed the way I view the world, I think back to my freshman year. There's a practicum that all hotel school students do, and I got to work with the housekeeping department. I didn't quite know what I was expecting, but I went in, I got paired up with the housekeeper, and she's been here for 6 years now, working at this point. We walked from room to room, flipping beds, washing windows, washing the bathroom walls, and we got to talking. And I realized she was also from Southeast Asia. She was from Cambodia, and we talked about food, the one thing that most people can usually connect over. And 2 or 3 rooms in, the banter became a lot more casual, and so I asked her, "When's the last time you've been home?" Because having been an international student, it's always hard to be away from home. And if there's one thing that I really remember from that day, it was her reaction. She stood there. She had a cloth in her hand, white cloth, right hand. She stood there and she looked at me, and for a good 10-15 seconds, it was sort of a blank stare. And then you see the first tear come down, and she just started crying. And she came over and she hugged me. Freshman kid, I had no idea how to respond, so I sort of held on, let it all come out. It wasn't a bawling sort of crying. It was this profound, emotional. I can't find the perfect word for it, but she just let it all go. And I stood there for a good 2 or 3 minutes and let her get it all out, and then I asked her, "What happened? Is everything okay?" And she told me in the last 3 weeks she lost her uncle, her nephew, and her brother. Right? 2 in an accident and 1 because of an illness. And she hadn't been home in 6 years. She had a daughter here that she was caring for, and she was up in the morning every day at 6 a.m. flipping beds, washing windows, washing bathroom walls. And for me, having come through this acclimatization period to Cornell, people were complaining about the smallest things. What did he think of me that night? What about this homework assignment? I don't understand this. And I remember walking back home that day from Statler, walking through Ball Charge, walking up to RBCC, and I'd hear these same problems coming out as I walked past, our freshman class. I came to realize that there are so many things that we're not grateful enough for. There are real problems, and they're not in some far off country somewhere else. They're right here. If you've spoken to the person in Max, or the person who gets you your salads at Terrace, you'll realize that they have a story, and they have problems. So now, when I look at what plagues people, what plagues people on a regular basis, and if I'm under stress, I sort of take a step back and I remember what she looked like when she looked at me. And I'm very grateful for everything I've had. When I've had difficulties, my friends, my family here, and all the Cornell support is here for, has been there for me, and they'll be there for everybody. So if I could think of one thing that's really changed my heart at Cornell, that was her.